Okay, we'll just go ahead and get started. First off, Cody, your interview went well with Dennis. I'm sure he discussed that with you at the time. Relevant comments. I just thought that you could be a little more confident in your answering of questions. Remember that you're the expert on you. Yeah. We have a long history in this society of yelling at people when they talk about themselves in a positive way, you know, accusing them of bragging and not everything. The problem is that when you tell the truth in a sort of neutral way, you're not bragging. What you're doing is simply telling the truth. Yeah. And the truth shouldn't embarrass you. You shouldn't feel hesitant. If you've accomplished some really good things, say so. You know, describe them. And if you need if a question catches you off guard, and there are sometimes that you'll run into interviewers who will ask you sort of questions and you're thinking to yourself, where did that come from? If it catches you off guard, just say, well, give me a second to think about, you know, how I can best answer that question, and then gather your thoughts and then answer it. But don't ever take more than a few seconds, because they're busy people. And some of them just like to ask questions that they think might make you uncomfortable, just to see how you react. Yeah. So if your reaction is, oh, that's interesting, I haven't thought about that before, but not looking like a deer in the headlights, then they'll go on to the next topic, whatever it is. He was very complimentary about almost everything that you do. And he's, you know, he did tell you that if you ask the question, how soon will I hear from you? Give him a reason. And it can be, and a good reason is I'm also talking to several other potential employers. You may run into an interviewer who says, well, then go to work for one of them. Yeah. You know, as a means of telling you, well, don't push us. Well, if that's going to be the attitude of the interviewer, then that's fine. But you have a legitimate right to ask the question, because you don't want to be sitting there, thinking, well, I have the job, they just need to contact me. Yeah. You don't have the job until you have the written offer in hand. And if something else comes along and you accept it, and then they say, well, okay, we're going to offer you a job. You say, I'm sorry, I've already accepted a position with someone else. You know, and it may or may not have any effect on them whatsoever. You never can tell. But nonetheless, what you want to do is be sure that you are very clear in your own mind that that's okay. So, I don't think you have any, well, you do. You have a couple of outstanding things. Let's take a look quickly. Yeah, the final portfolio. I'll put in the grade for the mock interview. You have to do the mock interview self-evaluation. I did send you the link to the video, so you can take a look at that and then go back. And as I say in the assignment, don't beat up on yourself. Try to look at it as objectively as you can look at yourself. I mean, it's hard to do when you're sitting there thinking to yourself, God, I look like a dork. You know, but don't. From the standpoint of Dennis, that wasn't the case with any of you. All of you did very well. And then we have a final exam. The final exam will be online and available at 9:30 this morning. What I would suggest is that, once you do the final exam, which is reasonably short, then what you should do is just work on the other things that you have yet to turn in. And we'll get them taken care of. Don't forget that you have 4 more daily checkpoints. So you have to do them right through Saturday. And unfortunately, can't do them ahead of time. Pardon?
I said I'm going to add to my final profile. Right now, that's all the documents. It's a zip folder.
Okay, so I'm going to pause the recording until Emily gets here. Okay, so I'm resuming the recording. Message for those who are not here. Go through your grade book. If you see that an assignment is missing, which will be denoted by a dash in the grade field, that means you need to submit it. I'd like to have everything before tomorrow night at midnight, because I have another class to get ready for next mod. Don't forget to do your last 4 daily checkpoints. That's today through Saturday. They will come online and be available each day. So just go ahead and do them. I will be posting grades for your mock interviews. All of you did very well. Dennis was very complimentary about all of you. I will send specific comments individually to you about some issues that Dennis thought you could do a little bit better on. But that's okay. But nothing bad at all. He was very happy with all of you. So make sure you know what your schedule is next mod, and make sure you understand what your on-ground classes are. Just because there are daily checkpoints doesn't mean it's an online class, because all classes from now on will have daily checkpoints. So please make sure you know what your schedule is and be prepared to come to class next week if you have a class. I don't know, Sarai, if you're going to be in externship or not, but you and Tel will have talked about that. Other than that, it's been a good class. I think that it would be, if there are things that you would like to suggest, specifically things that you didn't particularly like about the class or things that you think could be improved, please send that to me. We're always trying to find a way to do that, to improve these classes. And especially now that we're in a period of transition with the way classes are structured, that kind of input is more important. So the final is going to be online and available. It'll be available in 4 minutes, according to my computer. It will be available to do through the week, but please remember that you have one opportunity to actually do this final. There are not multiple attempts, so take care with it and go through it. Other than that, I'm going to stop this recording because now it's time for the final. And I hope to talk to any of you at some point in the future as you're on campus. So have a good weekend, and I will be looking forward to seeing your final.